You're listening to Proudly Set, the LGBTQ plus community podcast where members of the community and their allies come together to share their experiences, tell their stories. I'm your host, John Hyland, and let's get into the next episode. So we've gone across the Irish Sea for today's episode.
Aye, what about it?
Well, the guest has. We're down in heaven prior to the Big Gay Cabaret, and we've got the bearded Irish queen herself, Skarlett Skandal.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Back in Liverpool?
Yeah, actually, it's dead weird being back. It feels like a disconnect.
Yeah.
It's like a city that I used to love and live in, and now I'm just visiting.
Yeah. So are you just here for like a couple of days?
Yeah, here's to the Monday.
Oh, okay. So we're going to spend tomorrow hungover.
Yes, and then I'm DJing again tomorrow.
Oh, here?
No, in Tonight Josephine's.
Tonight Josephine's.
And then I'm going out because it's technically my early birthday. It's my birthday on Wednesday.
Happy birthday for Wednesday.
You guys won't know that.
Because this goes out in July.
Yeah, it's my birthday at the start of May. But yeah, I'm excited. So I'm treating it like an early birthday weekend. And then I'm getting feral tomorrow night too.
I love that. So it's a combination of a work and holiday.
Yeah, business and pleasure.
Business and pleasure.
That's what we're all about.
So, okay. What initially brought you to Liverpool? And if you just say uni, I'm going to slap you.
Well, it was for uni, but I actually, a lot of people don't know that I have a degree in zoology.
Zoology. Okay.
So I'm trained to work with drag queens because they're all bloody animals. Tell you that for free. Yeah, no, I moved for uni, and then literally the first day I got here, I was like, this is my city.
Yeah.
And 8 years later, I left.
I mean, 8 years.
But yeah,
though.
8 years as well. That's a long time. That's a lifetime.
Yeah. Where about you, Belfast?
Carrickfergus. So
you're from.
just
Okay.
Belfast.
Oh, I used to be a counsellor in Carrick.
Belfast.
Well, not for Carrickfergus per se, but Mid East Antrim.
Yes, I remember you saying. Oh, troublesome times.
Carrick, though, like that's proper unionist territory. Carrick.
Yeah. And it's great for me because I grew up in a mixed household. So my mum's in a Protestant town, a born and bred Catholic woman.
Yeah.
And no one knows. It's great. Undercover boss.
It's one of them. Like, I'm just going to touch on it just because you've said it. Like, it's really bizarre to a lot of people when you're talking about a mixed household in a predominantly 90+% white country. And all it means is Catholic and Protestant.
And especially, I was born a month after the peace treaty was signed. It's still been very fresh since I've been growing up. And obviously, my mum tells me stories about people like running up and down with guns, shooting each other like in our street whilst I'm asleep upstairs and all. Like, it's wild.
That is wild.
And this was in the 2000s. Like, this wasn't even before the peace treaty.
Wow. Oh, we know even like in recent times, there's been a bomb went off in West Belfast only literally like a week ago.
And God forbid you mention a flag.
So you came to Liverpool. Like I find, cause obviously I was over there for a few years, and like I find Belfast and Liverpool are very similar.
Very much so. Like I think that's why I felt so comfortable when I moved here, because it just feels like a home away from home, because you can't walk 2 steps without bumping into another Irish person.
Quite literally. Half the time the student population. Yeah. Because you all come over here and get feral. because of the difference in the nightlife.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, the latest you can be out to in Belfast is 3 a.m. Whereas
that's
in Liverpool,
a recent thing.
Yeah, it was 2 a.m. before that.
Yeah.
I always remember leaving the club at 1 a.m. and that was my night done. And now I go out at 1.
Yeah.
That was the thing it took the longest to adjust to.
I can go out later and stay out later.
Yeah, but then after a week or so, I was out till 8 a.m. every weekend.
Yeah, I find those definitely freshers week. You can tell, they're Irish students because they have not got a clue what they're missing out on.
we tend to go wild.
Just a little bit. Well, like Paddy's Day was recent, and I think I got on the bus, Smithdown Roadways, and I was like, I'm fairly sure half of Belfast is on my bus because obviously it's 86, which comes from the airport.
Yep.
Come to Liverpool.
Sounds about right.
Paddy's Day.
Sounds about right. I don't know why they would leave the Irish country to go somewhere else for Paddy's Day, but I suppose here is like Ireland 2.0.
Yeah, I feel like it is. Yeah. It definitely is. We even have a St. Paddy's Day march, which is fairly recent.
I've been in some states on Paddy's Day here, to say the least.
So, what was Scarlett a thing before you came over here? Or was it something that appeared whilst you've been living here?
No, it actually started during lockdown in 2021. It was like the second lockdown. So I'd done Trixie Mattel drag for Halloween, first and second year of uni.
That does seem to be the go-to like first drag look. Let's just do Trixie Mattel because it feels like it might be easier.
I did it initially and just wore like a cheap kimono and blonde shake and go wig. And then I met Trixie that like a couple of months later, and she was like, "I'd like you to redo this and tag me in it. I want to see it." She zoomed into the photo and was like, "Change this.
Wow.
Look at my face."
That's nice.
Gave me loads of really good tips.
That's
and then the year after, I was like, "Okay, sick." So I got a double stack Brenda wig for my first ever styled wig.
Brenda wig.
Double stack Brenda
That
wig.
must have been spenny.
Yeah. I don't know why. For one wear for Halloween.
One wear.
I never wore it again.
You still got it?
No, I think I sold it to Debs actually.
Okay, fair.
She like took it apart and it's been restyled.
Okay,
but
fair.
yeah, that was before I even knew who Debs was. So 2021 started drag because I'd seen Madam Madness on Drag Race Holland. She's a bearded queen.
Yes.
Before that, I'd never really thought bearded drag was an option, and I hate the way I look shaved out of drag. I look like a 12-year-old. So I saw her and I was like, that's the one. That's
me.
the tea. And yeah, a monster was born. Here we are.
I like the way you do it though, because I feel like some bearded queens like try to make a point of the beard.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you just have a beard. Obviously you dye it.
I think for me, it's very much I like to match my beard with the hair that I'm wearing. So I feel like it's just more what's the word?
It's like an extension of your hair.
Yeah, it's more lost the word again. ADHD. Yeah, so I just feel like it's more incorporated with the look. Yeah. I like the matchy.
Do you always try and keep it dark, or do you sometimes have your natural beard?
I do.
She's a ginger, just to put it out there.
Naturally ginger.
Stereotypical Irishman.
Stereotypical leprechaun you'll ever find. I've got my pot of gold in the house.
Why is it at our house? Why is it not here?
I don't want anyone to steal my gold. You got to keep that on track.
We are in heaven. The rainbow's outside.
Yeah, will people still steal me gold? It's happened once or twice.
Yeah, so beard. Do you sometimes keep the natural beard, or do you always dye it dark?
Yeah, so I've got a couple of ginger wigs that I tend to really only do either black hair or ginger. I used to do like blue hair, purple hair all the time when I was actually used to work in heaven when I first started.
Okay.
But,
and then dye the beard.
Yeah,
color
it's all makeup. It's all makeup. So it just washes off in the shower.
Fair.
But yeah, pretty much. I mostly do black hair because I like the contrast. Because obviously I spend my life as a ginger man. I like to have the options.
I like to go dark.
Like to keep my options open.
Well, to be fair, like even like your outfit tonight, it makes it pop.
Yeah,
it's very dark, and then the outfit pops.
I think a lot of people don't expect it as well from a bearded queen. They sort of see me and they go, "Whoa!" And then they find out I'm ginger, and they just their head explodes.
They can't like, huh?
They're like,
because again, I keep saying dyed. I know it's painted.
Yeah,
like I've always known that because I've seen you day between days, and I know that it's not permanently black.
Really like, annoyed though, because the company that does it have discontinued the paints that I use. So before they discontinued it, I bought 35 of them.
I'm well stocked.
Yeah, I literally messaged them and I was like, "Send me all your stock you have." And they were like, "Okay, Sly."
Amazing. But I think your aesthetic has kind of varied a bit, because I recall when we worked in a certain bar that we won't name, you have a bit of an your aesthetic was quite regal, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this is the first time I've not worn a styled wig. This is the first.
I mean, I wasn't dissing the wig. I just meant general aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, I'm part of a character tonight. Okay, guys, it's theme show.
Yeah, it's cartoon themed.
Cartoon themed. I am doing Shigo. If you couldn't tell,
okay,
you should be able to tell. But yeah, most of the time I sort of switch. Sometimes I kind of do the more classic drag, like big updo, big gown and everything. And then sometimes I just like to be a little slutty.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
And that's the whole point of it. It's like, it's the character, isn't it? So it's like, today she feels a certain way.
Yeah, very much so. I was like, you know what? Today I want to serve puss. And that I did.
To those listening, a tongue was revealed. So when it came to like drag, was it the whole like you want to experiment with looks, or was it always the intention of doing the full shebang and perform and this, that, and the other?
To be honest, it kind of just happened out of boredom in lockdown. I had
nothing
else to do. I was procrastinating my uni work, so I was like, let's do drag.
Let's just play.
Got a dissertation due, but no, I've got a cross dress.
Yeah, 10,000 words. No,
not gonna happen. But yeah, I kind of just fell into it. Obviously, like I've worked in all the bars here before I started drag. So I knew all the staff, I knew all the queens, and I sort of just fell in love with. I already had a love for drag before I moved here, but here compared to Belfast is just completely different. Like we don't have drag queen DJs over there. It's sort of mainly just a cabaret scene, and that's it. So over here,
it's the polar opposite.
I saw the queens DJ and I saw the queens like playing music and everything, and I was like, I always had a love for music, and then I started to get into DJing, and I was like, oh, okay, this is where I want to go down. And my goal would be to be like Jodie Harsh or something like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
You've got competition in Katona.
Oh yeah, there's no competition there. She is already better than me, but
it's good to have that kind of ambition though. So you see this like long term?
Yeah, very much so. I would love to have like a career as a DJ in drag. I think that would be so cute.
That would be sick. And I feel like it's an interesting one. So I feel like a few years, maybe like when I first came back to Liverpool, it's like, where are all these queens appeared from? And that seems to have slowed down a bit in recent times.
Very much so. I feel like a lot of people move here, they have their time and then they disperse.
Yeah.
And obviously I've done that myself.
I mean, but 8 years.
But yeah, 8 years. It's a long time. A lot of nights lost, to say the least. But yeah, I think there is a lot of queens that have just moved into careers, stopped doing drag, which completely fair.
Understandable,
you gotta earn money somehow. But I don't know. I feel like there is sort of starting to be a resurgence. I feel like drag did become very overpopulated, very fast. Thanks to Drag Race, that it is mainstream. But it just means it's really hard to get a gig sometimes.
Well, especially if everything's focused on the nighttime economy and that's going at the minute.
Yeah. I think that's why I'm sort of glad that I have the niche of being able to actually DJ. I think it's, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it actually is only me and Katona would be in Liverpool. Obviously, I'm not based here anymore, but
yeah, I think
we would be like the main two, not to say I'm a main queen of anything because I'm not, but
who actually like mix.
I feel like because we have that niche, it's more desirable. Not that I'm saying that other people don't have other talents. Sorry, guys.
Push a button.
Don't cancel me.
But yeah, it opens you up to a wider, like, maybe like, just because I find it frustrating. Like Jodie Harsh, I feel could and does work anywhere.
Oh, 100%.
So if Jodie Harsh can, why can't another queen do it?
Yeah. And it's sort of one of those things especially with Jodie Harsh, she's broke into the mainstream, and a lot of people don't even know that she is a drag queen, and then they see her perform and they're like, whoa. But
she's worn the same wig for about 20 years.
I mean, yeah.
She's very well set in her aesthetic.
Yeah. It works for her though. So, well for her. She's got more money than me, so I can't complain.
So how did you get into that DJing thing? Like I did ask this question of Katona, but I was just intrigued because, again, was that because you saw what you were doing in the venues and like, I'm going to try my hand at that?
Yeah. So I started off in Heaven as one of the go-go dancers, and I would always be watching the DJ whilst I was on the stage, seeing what they're doing. And then I think I'd actually mentioned to Brenda that I was looking to start DJing in drag, and she actually helped me out quite a lot and gave me like all her tracks that she had, which I really appreciated at the time because I didn't know where the hell to get anything.
Yeah.
And
Brenda does play mum sometimes.
Yeah. I started in Dorothy's.
Yes.
And they sort of took me under their wing. I started as a promo queen, and then one of the queens had left, and there was a DJ spot open, like the open.
Okay.
It was like the 7 till 10. And they sort of taught me everything. Like I obviously taught myself the mixing, but speaking on the microphone, I'd never done that before. And now,
is that daunting then?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's not something you're either, that kind of thing people would say you either got it or you haven't.
I am not great at speaking in general because my brain goes faster than my mouth. So I struggle to get my words out. So it took me a while to actually get used to it.
Yeah.
But now you can't get the microphone out of my hand. I will talk the back legs off a donkey.
And is that just quick wit, or just like because you've got more confident with it? It's just like someone's come in.
I wouldn't even say it's quick wit. It's just yapping. It's talking for the sake of talking, and I love it. And singing to a lot of songs that I can't sing.
So
yeah,
singing to all the songs that I can't sing.
It's great.
I love that. So are you working in Belfast now?
Yeah, actually, as of next week, I'm making my Belfast debut. Both me and my drag daughter are starting in Belfast.
Amazing.
We're doing the Union Street show with El Vosk from Drag Race.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So did you say Union?
Yeah, Union Street.
So just in put in context, there's only 3 venues. 4 technically if you want to count Boo Box. And if you want to still count Kremlin.
No, that's a touchy subject, apparently.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah.
But that is literally it. It's on one street, 3-4 bars, but 1-2 clubs, boosh.
Yeah.
That is Belfast LGBT scene.
Very small scene. But there's been a resurgence recently. I've noticed a big difference since I've moved away. I hadn't been out in Belfast since 2020.
Wow.
So
you went back?
A long time since I'd been out in Belfast. And I had my first night out. And honestly, one of the best nights I've had in a long time.
Really?
It was just, I think it was the freshness.
Yeah.
Somewhere new.
Yeah, and that's how it felt. Mm-hmm. Somewhere new.
And the music had completely changed. They were playing like much more heavier music, which I love. So I had a ball. And
obviously, like, the personnel's changed. The queens have changed. Well, no, some queens haven't changed.
Yeah, those queens has been there for like 30 years. The part of the furniture, part of the crew, part of the ship.
I probably... Pirates of the Caribbean. I got right onto that reference.
I got the mustache for a reason. Captain Hook over here.
Yeah, maybe don't say Jack Sparrow. So what would you say some of your inspirations then? Because we got the Bearded Queen stuff. You kind of mix it about, but when you're thinking, right, I'm gonna make a look, I'm gonna make a performance, I'm gonna DJ a track. What goes through your brain? ADHD.
About 25 things at the same time. But no, for me, I sort of, because I'm not like a dancer per se. With a lot of my performances and stuff, I tend to put a concept in, tell a story throughout the performance, instead of being like, because it ain't gonna happen. But with DJing, I never really go into it with a plan. I just go with the flow, and if it's crap, it's crap. And if it's great, then but
is that kind of the best way to do it with DJ? And just like, this is the vibe, this is where we're going, see how the response is.
I think especially with DJing, a lot of it is reading the room. So if you're just playing music, people aren't dancing, people are going to leave. And as DJs and drag queen DJs, it's our job to keep people in the venue. It's the promo staff job to get them in, but it's our job to keep them in.
Here. Yeah.
So if you're not reading the room, people are gonna not have a good night. And especially with Tonight Josephine's, for example, it's all Hindus. And if you're not playing their vibe, they're gonna leave and go somewhere else. And Hindus pay a lot of money.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So you want to keep them in as much as
bottomless
possible.
Brunches.
Yeah. Oh God, they get feral.
So you got to keep them in. Yeah. That's doing really well. That Tonight Josephine's, like, so many of you work there.
Yeah. It kind of just happened randomly for me. I think I was covering Kiki one week.
Right.
She posted a story being like, is any drag queens free this Saturday? And I was like, oh my God, where's this for? And she was like, Tonight Josephine's. And I was like, please. Yeah. Please. And then I did my first gig there, and they were like, you were really good. Can we, do you want to come back? And do you want to be a resident? And I was like, yes.
So now you're like maybe a visiting guest.
Yeah, now I'm back like once a month, every other month, sort of like that. I'm going to fly back.
That's really good. That's really good, Skarlett. Well done.
They were like really
not to leave Liverpool.
Well, yeah, that, and also not to leave the bar, because I'm the only queen that they have that mixes. Sorry, I'm just seeing my face on the screen there. Got distracted.
With a pink beard.
Yeah, that's when I was dressed as Dragon from Shrek, and I gave a lap dance to Donkey.
Yes, I remember that.
Yep.
I was here for that.
I'm so sorry for anyone that was there. But oh my God, I've done it again.
Tonight Josephine's leaving, not leaving.
So I told them I was leaving. The manager was like, please do not leave. And I was like, well, I could be convinced to come back like once a month if you give me like bank holiday, or like give me the like payday weekends. Yeah. So at least I'll know it's busy. And she was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So,
amazing.
Yeah, it gives me an excuse to come back and see everyone, because I built my life over here. I know like all my friends live over here. So I've kind of had to restart moving back home.
Yeah. So you said you were here for 8 years. Why did you go back home? Because I know sometimes I've done that myself, but I was only there for 3 years. I wasn't there for 8. As you say, you built a life here.
I think it was a mixture of things, to be honest. I think the first reason was I was kind of just getting a little bit overwhelmed living in the city. It was so fast.
Was you like smack bang in the centre as well? Did you live in the city centre?
Yeah, I lived just off London Road.
Oh, smack bang in the middle then.
Yeah. So it was constant noise, constant go, and I just sort of started feeling that I wanted a more chill life. So I moved to Carrickfergus.
Is that where you are? You're in Carrick?
Yeah.
You have gone back to Carrick?
I'm back living with my parents in a single room with a single bed.
But no bills.
Single person. Yeah, no bills, thankfully.
That's the upside. You couldn't save.
I sort of just wanted a reset. I'd got myself sort of into a bad financial situation, and I just sort of wanted to recover. It was getting too expensive to live here. I was just living essentially paycheck to paycheck. So I kind of just wanted to take a step back, relax, hang the drag up for a couple of months, take a break, and get myself an actual day job.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, I'm in the civil service now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'm visualizing Skarlett in the civil service.
This is your government speaking.
So are you feeling like much better in that respect? Because I can understand that feeling overwhelmed, and like particularly if the work here was just drag and it was getting a bit few and far between. So you feel much better in that respect.
Yeah, I honestly think it's the best decision I've ever made. I've obviously it's helping that I've got 2 dogs at home. So I've essentially got therapy dogs.
Yes. I love that.
And yeah, I've currently put in an application, hopefully gonna get a job in Belfast Zoo. So I'm I'm looking to actually use my degree now. I want a career and then have drag on the side. I don't know if I'd ever do drag full time again.
Yeah.
But I'll never give up drag. I love it too much.
And I think that's nice then to have that passion side hustle.
Yeah.
So it's like I can still do stuff and enjoy it and get paid for it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be the constant.
Very much so. And hopefully a couple of the queens in Belfast are trying to talk to the managers to get me in to actually DJ in Kremlin.
Love that. Okay.
And bring the gays back. So
bring the gays back.
Fingers crossed that happens, because that would be really cool.
It would, because
that was the first gay bar I ever went to.
It was mine in Belfast as well, to be fair.
It's a gorgeous venue. It's just a shame about the crowd now.
The setup's like weird. So you've got a balcony around the outside of a DJ, and so people can literally be upstairs looking over.
Yeah, you can't even see the DJ, but then if you go upstairs, you're basically hanging over the DJ. It's a weird placement.
It is a weird placement, but it works.
Yeah, for those that don't know, it's a Russian themed bar. They have Stalin holding a gay flag outside. It's camp. But it's just a rough patch at the minute.
It's kind of gone the way a certain bar in Eberly Street's gone.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Just leave it at that.
She who shall not be named.
That's cool though. So what would you be doing in Belfast Zoo?
Yeah, as a zookeeper.
Literally a zookeeper. Like,
zookeeper.
Does that, do you go for a certain type of animal, or do you just go and then this is where you'll go? How's it work? I'm really intrigued.
Don't actually really know at the minute.
Okay.
I've just sort of applied for the position, and I think they sort of find out what animals are maybe best catered for,
right,
and put you there. Obviously, like stuff like elephants or big cats is a lot of manual labor, and my back is bad enough as it is. So I would cry if I got like lemurs or something, because it's my favorite animal, and I cry every time I see them.
Make sure we get lemurs. And there is lemurs in Belfast too.
Yeah, they've got a lemur forest now.
A lemur forest.
Yeah, you can walk in and they're just free roaming around you.
Okay.
Sob.
Oh yeah, no, then you won't get any work done.
I know, but like,
but you'll love them.
But I love my job every day. I would just sit there.
That's mad, because it's like, just backtracking a little bit. So like, we've got Skarlett Skandal with her degree in zoology. We've got Athena Barbatal with her PhD in fucking neuroscience.
Yeah,
whatever it is. Drag queens are smart motherfuckers.
Not just pretty face.
So what would that kind of entail then? Just looking after them?
Yeah, just be maintenance, like feeding them, cleaning them, and probably spend half my day cuddling them or trying to.
Fair.
Yeah,
I can imagine
I'll probably get sacked in a month for trying to cuddle the animals.
I can imagine like the Skarlett will come out though when you're like doing educational talks. Oh my god, bring Skarlett to Belfast Zoo. For like do they do the like Chester Zoo does like a lantern walk during like Christmas time and stuff like that? Does Belfast do something similar?
I actually don't know, to be fair.
That would be, oh my god, Skarlett should come out for something. For an event. That's something when you get settled, give it the 3 months and be like, I have an idea.
That's camp, actually. I like that. I'm stealing that.
It's yours to have.
Thanks.
It's yours to have. So you're kind of glad being back in Liverpool, because like we mentioned like the different queens, and I feel like you've been involved with so many groupings, shall we say?
Yeah,
you've been a social butterfly in the drag community, haven't you?
Yeah, I've tried to be as much as possible, because it's just the best way to, one, get to know the scene, and two, get bookings. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So who'd you say you're closest? Put you on the spot, bitch.
I probably would say my closest would be it'd be between Carmen and Ruby, who obviously I'm staying with this weekend.
We'll count them as one,
and then
because they're a couple.
probably like Kiki Regina.
Yeah.
I would get on with them really well. Like me, Kiki, Regina would always go out on like days out and stuff like that.
I think I remember that story actually when Kiki got recognised in TK Maxx.
Yeah. Someone just came up to her and she was like, "Excuse me, are you Kiki Payne?" And she went, I just went, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
You're in a dream, like, course.
Because we were joking as we were walking in, being like, "Hey, you're gonna get recognised." And then literally the first aisle, someone was like, "Are you Kiki Payne?" I was like,
"That's cute."
It was that cute, to be fair.
But it's nice when you're the support of friends. Like, that's my friend.
It's very nice to see your friends like become successful and love what they do.
Yeah.
I'm always that friend that'll big up my friends before I big up myself. Like, I just think it's the best thing to do.
Do you find that's the case with a lot of established Liverpool queens, shall we say? It's like everyone kind of supports one another, and like, you know, when residencies become available or something, it's like, go for that girl.
Very much so. I feel like, especially in Liverpool, Belfast, I don't know so much because I'm only fresh there.
Yeah.
But especially with Liverpool, we all have each other's backs, and I think that's why I fell in love with drag more after starting drag, because even from being a baby queen, I was in one of the clubs and the queen comes over and was like pulling up my pads and everything, being like,
"Sort yourself out, girl. Sort yourself
out." And that's stuff that I wouldn't have known unless someone pointed it out to me. We're always the first to call each other out on stuff, but it's in a supportive way.
Yeah.
It's never in a bitchy way, which I really appreciate.
So you mentioned earlier, like, you know, your drag daughter's going to be also hopefully getting work with you in Belfast. How did you give birth to Pumpkin Skandal?
First of all, I didn't choose the name. So it kind of just happened. It was a miracle birth. Virgin Mary here.
I was gonna say, I thought, man.
But yeah, we used to do promo for OMG,
right?
And there's like one night, especially when it was like torrential rain, I'm stood there like this with the umbrella, he was holding the umbrella, and I was stood there handing out shot cards because I'm not holding my own umbrella.
Were we Scandal or were we out with drag?
No, I was in drag.
You were in drag.
I was doing promo, and we just started bonding over doing these promo shifts together. And then one night he was out drunk and he was like, "I really want to start drag, and like, you have the drag aesthetic that I want to do.
Okay.
Would you be my drag mother?" And first off, I was like, "Fuck off, that's not happening."
I don't want responsibility for a child.
Don't want no children. I can't look after myself. But yeah, then we sort of had an actual sit down sober conversation about it. And yeah, Pumpkin was born, and she's done drag 3 times. And this was 2 years ago she was born. But we won't talk about that.
She's done drag 3
To be fair, she was in uni, so she was dead busy, and then last summer she moved back to Belfast.
Okay.
So she was waiting for me to come back to start drag
again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's quite cute.
Yeah.
So what is that kind of mother-daughter role for you then? Because obviously there's a conception of what it is.
Well, for me, it was always like, I don't want it just to be me giving everything. I wanted to sort of be a two-way street. We can teach each other things.
Yeah.
So my daughter did, I'm going to butcher this. Don't know, but in uni, but she's a trained dancer.
Yes.
So I was like, I've got a choreographer. She didn't know anything about drag. She didn't even know what mascara was.
And just decided she wanted to do it.
So I had to teach her everything. So it was constant makeup lessons in my house, figuring it out, and then I sort of just left her. I bought her the products that she needed so that she'd be started up with, and sort of just let her fend for herself almost, but I still would give advice.
Proper like thrown in the deep end kind of thing. It's like, this is how I learned, that's the only way you will learn, but I will give tips.
And then the first competition she does was actually in heaven. It was the alt drag night.
Oh yes.
And she started swinging from the rafters and fell. Scandal by name and Scandal by nature.
Like quite literally, like on her back.
I think she fell into a dip, so like leg up, but she fucked her knee. She was in boudoir with an ice pack on her knee afterwards.
Oh yeah, as a dancer, you don't want to be doing that.
Yeah,
sleek bitch.
So she was well known in town for a while for being the girl that was swinging from the rafters. Sorry, Pumpkin.
No, she's not. I'm not. So that's camp though. So like, what's the whole crack with Elvos? So like, has it been a conversation with her, or have you and Pumpkin kind of come together? And like, how did that?
So when I moved back, Pumpkin sort of had that kick to be like, I want to start doing drag again. Like will you help me? And I was like, yeah, of course. I want to start in Belfast too.
Yeah.
So I started going to the Union Street shows a couple weeks in a row, just to get to know the queens, get myself known. And I have known Elvos since before she was announced on Drag Race.
Okay.
She did like this random gig in, you'll know this, these won't, Donegal Sailing Club.
Yes.
The most random gig I've ever been to. But Elle got really drunk and we got chatting. She was like, you're a drag queen. I need to tell you something. And didn't tell me, obviously. She didn't break her NDA. Sorry, BBC. But
she didn't break her NDA.
we had a conversation. We started getting like friendly and we followed each other, just like would chat the odd time. Sort of trauma bond over that gig because it was a car crash.
There's nothing better than a trauma bond.
Me and my friends were the only queer people there. It was just a bunch of like old straight people being like,
did you just get booked? I'm so confused.
Apparently it happens every year.
Oh.
Yeah. But this year, our last year was the best turnout they've ever had. So it was a great night. To be fair, it was camp, but everyone just got feral.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just sort of knew her from then. And then obviously once she got announced for Drag Race, I was showing my support and stuff like that. And then when I moved back, I messaged her. And
that bitch.
I was originally booked for the late show on Union Street, and then the queen that was running that at the time unfortunately quit drag.
Oh wow, okay.
So I was like, well, there goes my booking. So I messaged one of the other queens, and she was like, come do the late show. Elle says, come along.
Okay.
And then a couple weeks later, I messaged being like, okay, my drag daughter wants bookings. This is the longest ADHD story ever.
It's interesting though.
My drag daughter wants bookings.
Like Origins?
And they originally wanted her for the Friday show because it's more upbeat for like dancers and stuff. And then Elle was like, no, I want her for my show. No one else is having her.
I want her for my show.
I love have a reputation. What can I say? Don't know if it's a good one.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
So you're getting prepped then, ready to...
Yeah.
When is it?
I'm doing next week, the 9th of May.
Okay.
And then she is doing the 23rd, 2 weeks after.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
It is not what you know to, you know.
Exactly, yeah, very much so. But I'm excited and also shitting myself because I've never performed in Belfast. I've never done drag in Belfast.
I'll be interested.
So this will be a
Who
first.
this bitch?
Literally.
Who this bitch?
Well, people already know me when I'm out of drag, so not to sound like a local celebrity, but I felt like one night.
Because you came back.
A lot of people kept approaching me being like, are you Skarlett Skandal? And I was like, am I famous? I'm not, but...
They recognise the beard.
Yeah. I mean, you can't miss it. I'm neon orange out of drag.
Yeah, we're going to go from neon yellow to neon orange.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I'm just conscious of your time and you have got a gig to start doing. So if people want to find you online, where can they find you?
You can find me pretty much everywhere at Skarlett_Skandal. That's Scarlet with a K and 2 T's, and Scandal with a K as well.
And it's just
got
the
that
Insta?
rehearsed.
I've got rehearsed.
Insta, TikTok. I think I've got a Facebook page. Don't use it, but if you want to find me there, find me there. And don't stalk my Twitter because it's weird. That's
you're still on it.
Yeah.
I know what you use.
I mainly just use it to vent. No one actually reads it, but it's personal diary at this point.
It's your personal diary. It's shouting into the ether.
Yeah.
And then people hopefully will not hopefully they will, if you ever go to Belfast, they can check you out there. And at this moment in time, you're still doing once a month in Tonight Josephine's.
Yeah, in Tonight Josephine's, yeah.
And it's probably more of these lots.
Yeah, well, I actually believe I'm the resident DJ for Big Gay Cabaret now.
Oh, are you?
Carmen, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but
no, she said it.
I've DJ'd the last 3 events, so I'd like to think so. But yeah, I'll be back hopefully for every Big Gay Cabaret.
Amazing, love that. But no, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's been camp.
Yes, I've had a great time.
Thank you for listening to Proudly Said. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more, check out the rest of our episodes where you listen to your podcasts. If you want to support the podcast and keep this conversation going, consider joining The Front Row, our exclusive membership program for less than £3 a month, where you get exclusive access and so much more. Check out our website for more information, proudlysaid.co.uk.